Welcome to my personal journey. I'm so looking forward to sharing this with you. I know a lot of you have been asking me to do a video tailored around somewhat how I got started, why I'm in this practice, and a little bit about my life. And I decided to do this at my 200,000 subscriber mark. So what perfect day to post, but today I am doing some videos. Look at the setup here. This is my behind the scenes. Look at my pillow on my chair. It's just as savvy as that. So you want to know what I'm recording right now? Here are the video topics that I'm doing today. Getting hot and heavy too soon. Ooh, okay. Trusting after heartbreak. How to trust people after being hurt and dating again. Want to know more? I love doing that thing with the paper. It's so stupid. I'm cracking myself up. Okay, next video is how to reply to a canceled date text. That shit is good. I know if you're watching, you're probably like, Apollonia, the 200,000 subscriber mark was a while ago, but it did take me a while to put this together because I wanted to actually go back to my hometown and give you the story as of my why. Well, I am on my way to San Francisco to go back to my hometown, Oakland, and show you guys where I was living before, where I was raised by my mother, the school I went to, and I haven't actually been back since I was, I think, 10 years old. So this is going to be a walk down memory lane, and I want to also take the time to inspire you guys on why and where my roots originally came from, and also for you guys to understand that, you know, just because if you come from a certain location or a certain something doesn't mean that life is of no value, or life is not something that you can have, or something else is not attainable, like your dreams, your desires, your wishes, and things like that. So I can't wait to share some more with you, and join me along this journey. See you soon. So years ago, I believe it was 2 years ago exactly, coming up in a month and a half today. So I quit my corporate job. Today is November 1st, 2017. Today is a special day for me because I made an incredible decision to do something that I've always wanted to do. Today I quit my job. Today I quit my job to become an entrepreneur. God, that sounds so crazy to say. But I wanted to do this video diary because I feel like this will be an amazing story for me to share someday, sometime with other people. I was a private banker, and I left a six-figure income to start a practice that I was so passionate about, that a lot of you know of right now. When I was growing up, I lived in Oakland, California, and when I was raised with my mother. She was a single mother that graduated from college and was the only person in our family to graduate with a master's and a bachelor's, of course. And my mom went to college, and when my mom went to college, I was a newborn, and she would take me to school, feed me. She would go to night school. I would be sleeping right in the car seat right next to her. And my mother always just wanted to give me fulfillment and a purpose in life and happiness and sustainability, and that's what she was able to do. But my mom obviously didn't make that much money. And growing up in Oakland, California, back then, it wasn't the best of neighborhoods. And I had the moment to go back and show you guys where I was born, where I came from. And I actually had the moment to go back to my old house, and it blew me away. So the reason why I tell you this story is because my whole life I struggled in school. I struggled, and I want to make this video not tailored just around my story, but also so you can identify some things with your life to give you that inspiration and give you that motivation. Because not only do I find it hard to be vulnerable on camera and to share my life, but I also find it hard for others to take the leap. And if I can inspire you to do so, and by sharing it with my vulnerability, I'll do it. So my mother and I were living in California, and I really wasn't really good in school. We left and we went to Florida. My mom got a better job there. And I'm gonna be very honest with you here. In high school in general, I was so self-involved with relationships and love at such an early age, meaning I would look at people in school and wonder, like, why are they together so young? Or why is she pregnant so early? And then I would look at my mother and father's relationship and say, why does love and happiness happen, but why does anger also happen too? And I'm gonna get back to that in just a second and tell you a little bit about that story as I help men. So going back into high school, I thought, why am I going to be getting good grades if I find this so challenging? I don't even know what I want to be. I don't even know what I want to do. So I had to go to college because of the fact that my family was so on me to go to college because I would be the second one to fulfill and go to college. And then something happened in my life. I was faced with a decision to either take care of my grandmother or my mother lose her home. So I ended up working nights and my mother ended up working days. I didn't fulfill and graduate from college in this time because of the fact that I took care of my grandmother, and I would never live down this decision my whole entire life. If I had to repeat it, I would, because there were so much lessons that I was able to learn in regards to love and honoring your family and honoring who you are in self-development stages, and really how to progress in such a negative, vital environment. The reason why I say negative environment, because my grandmother used to be a very independent woman. She was just like a second mom to me. And my grandmother had diabetes and was diagnosed with diabetes, had a cut on her leg, and ended up, long story short, having both of her legs amputated. The doctors only told her that she had 8 months to live. And because my mother and I fed her with love and never gave up on her, because of the fact that she never gave up on us, we pursued and pursued to make her life better and healthier. My grandmother ended up living for another 8 years of her life. Before my grandmother's last 2 years on this lifetime, she was able to put herself in bed, take her own baths, do her own hair, do her own nails, have friends, and actually have a life again with 2 amputated legs. And this showed me a lot of possibilities in life and that things are possible. And I'm a big believer, and this is why I do this, is love is the reason of why we are in existence, really. And it's up to us to have those meaningful relationships in life and understand when we have to give our all and when we don't have to give our all. And I say this because I gave my all in my relationship with my grandmother and my mother. And it's because they always supported me, but also too because they had the right intents always in my life. And so from there, I ended up getting into a corporate job, into banking. And it was a job that I didn't even think I was going to be able to get because I didn't know the difference between an interest rate or an APR rate. And I was able to do this. I was able to succeed. And I remember my first month of me being on that job. This was back in 2000, maybe 2 or 5, I can't remember exactly. But I came home with a $13,000 paycheck for the first time. And back then, that's probably around $35,000 now. And 25 to 35,000 now, I'd say. And back then, my mother was so proud of me, and I was inspired that I started realizing that this was what work was. This was what I was supposed to be doing because I was bringing home the money. And so I became a bank manager. I moved up in the banking sphere. I moved to Miami and got a promotion and opened up a new bank, and then became a VP of a bank. And I just remember becoming a VP at the age of 30 years old, but yet I was not fulfilled. So I continued to go on about my days and go to do speeches and do a coaching practice on the side because this is what I was fulfilled in doing. I had so many people, sponsorships, summits reaching out to me to come and speak. And this is how I reached a point of fulfillment by working in my corporate job. Years and years went on, and I told myself I couldn't do this anymore. I couldn't do this anymore because I wasn't fulfilled and I wasn't passionate, and I wanted to take a leap of faith. I wanted to build my coaching practice to a bigger international practice. And YouTube let me do that. In the meantime, I just uploaded a new video while I'm on my flight so you guys can watch it. It's how to argue the right way in a relationship. A A lot of you have asked me to do some more videos about relationships, communication, and things like that. So you asked, and I heard, and I posted. Okay guys, I am going live. See you on YouTube. Bye. Early this Sunday morning, doing a little video shoot, vlogging, different style. Stay tuned, and look how beautiful it is. Now we are on our way to the beach. Hi guys, I'm back to shooting videos today. I'm really happy to be able to do some videos. So back at it. Anyways, I wanted to do something a little bit special for you guys too, because a lot of you have asked for me. Okay, back to work. So I just posted a video for you men called How to Get Out of the Friend Zone and Stay Out of It. So this was a highly requested video, and I give you 8 tips on how to get out of the friend zone and never get in it. The link is in bio, so be sure to check it out. And my website let me do that. But it always wasn't easy. It's very difficult to say and turn in a 2-week notice to a corporate job that you had worked so hard for. And so many people there had worked so hard for and had families, had a mortgage payment and everything. And yet I'm here, this younger girl, quitting a job and doesn't even know what her next move will be. So I took my leap of faith because the feeling in me, my intuition, every day got stronger. I remember before I quit, I told myself I was gonna give myself a year to quit. And then I would wake up the next day and be like, no, I'm gonna do 6 months. A week later, I'd say, I wanna do 2 months. 2 weeks later, I'd say, I'm quitting this week. And remember when I reached that point that I said I was gonna quit that week, I actually ended up quitting the next day. And that's why I put together that vlog that I'm actually showing you guys in this video. I think I'm gonna quit my job in January, on Saturday. Maybe I'll quit in December. And come Sunday, rolling into Monday, I said, no, I'm quitting now. And today is Wednesday. So I share this video with you to tell you that it is not an easy transition if this is something that you want to go through. And I say it's not an easy transition because the mixed amount of emotions that I had to go through to get to this point, because I identified myself with my career for so many years. Because I was always a girl that was told, you're never going to get this position. You can't be a VP of a bank without a college degree. You can't do this. You're not smart enough. You're not good enough. You don't have a college degree, so we cannot hire you for this position. I never thought in a million years that I would be able to work for a corporation, especially in finance, and then becoming a VP of a bank and making a 6-figure salary. I dropped all of this to find and to follow my passion. My biggest driver was all the people that I can help out there, all the people that I can impact, I'm letting down if I don't quit. And that was me on the day that I quit my corporate job that was giving me more than 6 figures a year. And I share this because I wasn't purposefully living. I felt dead inside. It felt so good to live in integrity and to speak my truth and say no in the meaningful times because I came from integrity for myself. And I say this because this happens in life in general. And right then and there gave me the courage to move on and fulfill my pursuit in my dreams. And I started investing in my growth after I quit my job. I started investing in my licensing. I started investing in so much in doing speeches, coaching, opening up group coaching for men and women. Then I came to a point in my life when I said, which person do I want to coach the most? And I had a very hard conversation with myself because I said to myself, there's not a lot of people, coaches out there, women, that are willing to talk to men and give them real advice. And there's not a lot of men that are willing to listen to women. And I took on the challenge to do this because this is where the core of my happiness lies, is to work with men. And the reason being is because as I was growing up as a single mom, I remember my mom was a single mom. I remember living in San Francisco and under the Golden Gate Bridge, I would always just look up on that Golden Gate Bridge and wonder, like, why is my dad and mom divorced? And just think about love all the time, and why my mom and dad can just get along and we can just be a happy family. As I grew up, in that relationship ended up being very close with my dad at his young age. I was super close with my father. I got to know my father on a very personal level. And unfortunately enough, my father was someone who never received love in his younger years ever. He suffered from abuse, he suffered from so much, but yet he didn't turn to personal growth. He didn't invest in himself. He was latching on to myself and my mom in narcissistic, abusive ways. And because this is what he was taught. Until this day, I love my father to death, but I can only have a relationship with him that he's allowed to have with himself. And that's nothing. So as my years went on into my early adulthood, I tried to repair the relationship. I tried to help him, and he wasn't willing to be helped. And I say this not to talk bad about my father or anything, because he is an amazing person of who he can show up to be. But the problem was in my life is I looked at my father as only if he had guidance from someone, only if he had a coach to help him, only if he felt love at a young age would he be able to be that father figure for me. I went through so much in my life with men in general, and I thought, wow, if only I can help all those other men out there, that would be my purpose. Because I think about only if that was that one person that helped my father, there would be one less woman without one, or one less woman not happy. And that's what brought me to this practice. And also I've had a huge amount of happiness and empathy for men my whole life. You can sit here and think that all women out there can have bad views on men. And when I have a woman in front of me that has bad views on men because she blames what men have done to her in her past, is when I have a real conversation. Because there's things in my life that I've been through in general with men, but I've never blamed them for it. I've only seen it with compassion. When people operate off of fear or ego, it's because they are hurt. And I'm not saying that you just let it go and let things happen in life, and if you're a victim of any way, that you don't speak up. But what I am saying is there's a big thing in forgiveness. And because I was able to reach a point of forgiveness, I fell in love with the idea of helping others and helping men in general. This is when I met so many men. I've interviewed so many men, and I was able to understand on a perspective of a mind of a woman and a mind of a man, and really be on the men's side of things. There's so many people out there that are helping women, but there's not enough people helping men. And this is where it all begins. And this is why I'm so passionate about what I do. And 2 years ago, I built this practice on YouTube.
So I hear your comments in my DMs, on my Facebook, on my YouTube, and the more you comment, the more likely you are on my YouTube channel. The more you comment on my YouTube channel, the more likely I will do a tailored video around your questions. Sitting here thinking, I'm like, wow, 6 months ago, I did not know I would be at 50,000 subscribers. Holy mother effing crud. That's amazing. Okay, it might sound a little ridiculous to some people, I don't know, but like I'm a one-woman show. Like I'm the one that creates the videos. I'm the one that creates the content. I'm the one behind the camera. I'm the one like in the camera giving advice. Hi guys, hope you're having a great weekend. I'm just here filming some videos for you. Can't wait to post them. They're really good. This time I'm getting a little bit deeper, but that's good. That's what you guys want, I guess. Videos, because that's what you've been asking for. Hi everyone, I am shooting some videos today with Joe. Say hi, Joe. No, he's not doing the videos with me. He's the one behind the scenes that does all the work. Show Joe some love. He does everything for me.
I was able to hire new coaches. I'm able to take my practice to a whole nother level and do individual coaching and group coaching. I tour around the world to do boot camps and to meet you guys face to face, because this is ultimately what drives me to fulfillment. And being that little girl and going back into my neighborhood again and walking through the old neighborhood and having the life that I have now all came together for me in that scenario. I remember walking down the street in Oakland, California recently when I was in my LA boot camp, and I went there for the LA boot camp, and just thinking, wow, it all makes sense of why I was supposed to do what I'm doing, and I'm not going to give up. So I wanted to thank you guys, and I wanted to make this video that you guys have been asking for and show you exactly how and why I do this and why it's such a thing that I do from my heart and others feel through this camera. I know in so many ways, a lot of you have gotten my free content on YouTube, and I produce content so you guys can help yourself through these situations, and because this is my way that I can also help you guys in my own existence right now through a lens. You know, I get so many testimonials on YouTube, on my Instagram, through my emails, on my website, my face-to-face, people approaching me in airports, everything. And it's so amazing that it's unreal sometimes. And the best things is something recently that just happened to me that inspired me to do this video. There was a man that I coached, and he also came to my boot camp, and he was in the military and he was going into the special forces. And he never dated a woman before, maybe went on a couple dates, and really never challenged himself to get out there. He was the guy that was always forever in his head, and I noticed this within him. So we did some boot camps, and we did some face-to-face coaching with me and my team. And I just remember always being very positive with him, being very uplifting with him, because I saw something in him that he didn't see yet. And so I continued to remind him as the months went on, and he started to coach with me. And I gave him tools, and he started to use them slowly, not immediately, but he started to use them slowly. And last week he called me, and I remember he messaged me and he was like, I just want to share my results with you after coaching with you for months, and I'm in Afghanistan right now. He calls me, and I remember stopping dead in my tracks in the middle of Home Goods and saying to him and just busting out in tears. And what he said to me was so amazing. He was a guy that was always in his head and didn't know how to have happiness in his life. And he says, Apollonia, I just want to thank you for being such an inspiration in my life. I've never been able to be happy in my life, my whole life. And that's why I'm in the Army, is because I feel better giving my life to some other people and fighting for our country. But now I have something to look forward to. I've never been able in my life to look forward to anything. And then he says to me, the times that I saw nothing, you saw something in me. Your reassurance of being so positive and how you just were just yourself all the time with me is something that constantly played in my mind and helped me. Now I'm happy. I'm here in Afghanistan. I'm actually happy. I wake up with motivation. I wake up with happiness, and I don't know what it is, but I know it's because of you. And he used the tools now of two women that he was talking to, and he escalated for the first time. He was assertive for the first time, and he noticed his progression with women as well as the months went on. And now he has two girls to go home to and hang out with and actually like him and want to be with him possibly, and they can continue to date. And this was a guy that never was able to even really go on a date or kiss a girl. And he was able to do this. And this is just one of my testimonials of so many out there. And I share this with you because of the fact that this work is something that is so near and dear to my heart, and this is an inspiration to me, and I want it to be for you. If there's never a time that you get to work with me, or if there's never a time that you get to book a private session with me, meet me face to face, or work with any of my coaches, that's okay, because this is what this platform is for. If you are a subscriber on my channel, I want to know, for those of you that have been with me since day one, I want to know when you started viewing me. Like, what subscriber count was I at? I would love that. And which one of yours videos that I've posted on here has been the most inspirational video that has probably helped you in situations in your life? I would love to know in the comments below. I just want to thank you, and I want to thank you for letting me share this moment of vulnerability with you about my life, my upbringing, and why I do what I do. I know you guys have been asking for this so much in my YouTube and my Instagram and everything, and it took me a while to do it because I didn't know when I wanted to do it, and I thought the 200,000 journey mark would be the best time to do so.
Got a special delivery from YouTube this morning, but I'm going to wait and do an reveal video. Oh my God. I just posted a video a week ago and it's at 974,000 views. Oh my God. So here's the letter from YouTube. I don't know if you can see it. Really cool, right? I'll read it to you guys. You've just done something that very few YouTube creators accomplish. You had an astounding 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. Thank you. I'm gonna get emotional. We know that numbers on YouTube can get really big, but we hope that you don't lose sight of your reality behind the 6-digit milestone. Nope, I won't lose sight. Each and every person who has subscribed to your channel has been touched by what you've created. They were inspired, challenged, or entertained. You've achieved this milestone with hard work, perseverance, and probably a healthy sense of humor too. Well, I could say the least. You do it because you have a drive to create and share, and because you found an audience who cares. We believe in you. Believe us when we say that we can't wait to see you and what you do next. 1 million subscribers may seem a long off right now, but you're closer than you think, and we're rooting for you. Awesome. Definitely want to get to that 1 million subscriber count. It's not even about the subscriber count. It's really about just helping people from the goodness of my heart, because so many people need this advice, guys. So many people need our help, and so many people need understanding. You know, I've had so many people reach out to me and how many lives that they've saved, and I can get emotional just thinking about this $100,000 journey, but here it is, $100,000, 100,000 subscribers. I get so wrapped into things and I forget what I'm saying sometimes. It's hilarious, but here it is, guys. Look at it. Can you see? Oh.
So I want to personally thank you and remind you guys that inspiration is at your fingertips. It's about taking the leap of faith and really taking the challenging moments by your hands and embracing the challenging moments, and always following your heart and your intuition. Don't ever let anybody mistreat you. Always stand up for yourself, because when you stand up for yourself and you're happy and you love yourself to a point that that's what gives you happiness, you will ultimately find fulfilling relationships. I love you guys, and I'm so happy to share my journey. And before we sign off, as I always say, you are always loved. Bye for now.
And in today's video, we're going to talk about a woman that is playing with your emotions. Oops, it's the oven. Lightly move in for the kiss as the night progresses with filming and possibly, with filming.
I was like, oh.
That was a good one. We're going to use that in a bloopers or something one day.
And I'm talking, I'm in love with a scriptress.
The importance, oh gosh, I'm looking. Sense of presence. Gosh, do it all over again.
I am so happy that you've invested in one of my products. And because of you, what the? Okay.
Okay, now I can't stop. Okay. Think of something serious. Okay. Hi everyone, I am your
You're Apollonia.
I had a burp again. Sorry. Okay.